Skye Squad, we are back in the building. It's your boy DJRichieSkye back in the building. We got to talk entertainment news, and we got to talk a little Real Housewives of Potomac tea that just kind of popped off. You know what I'm saying? And then we also got to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. That trailer is out, and boy, we got to talk about it, okay? It is going down in the Huntsville. I feel like I need to make a trip down to Huntsville to see what's really going on. Because, I mean, the show make it look popping, okay? TGIF, y'all. Thank God it's Friday. We done made it through another week. My birthday is next Friday. Shout out to all the cancers in the building, okay? Okay, before we get into the Real Housewives of Potomac tea, let me know where you guys are watching from real quick in the chat. I'm gonna highlight a couple of places I see. You know what I'm saying? Canada in the building. I see you. TGIF. Okay, come on, Arlington, Texas. Praises be. Okay, come on, Memphis, Jersey in the building. Bowie, Maryland, right down the street, Alabama, NYC, Durham, Dallas. I see a lot of Dallas up in here. Kansas season. Come on now. Bahamas, Botswana in the building. I see y'all. Trinidad, Prairieville, Jacksonville, St. Vincent. Okay, come on now. Kingston, Jamaica, Baton Rouge, Savannah Park, Chi-Town. I see you. Alabama, Tuskegee, Alabama. Boom. Come on, Kansas Rock, Chicago, Detroit, Sandersville, St. Louis. Okay, Jacksonville. I see y'all. I didn't know it was a Jacksonville. Oh, Los Angeles, California. Come on now. Come on. All right, y'all. South Africa. I'm going to see you guys in December. I'm going to see y'all in December. Hey. Come on now. And thank you for all of the early birthday wishes as well. And happy birthday to all of our fellow cancers out there. Tines, TGIF, boo. I love you right back, okay? Let's get into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Real Housewives of Potomac. As you guys know, the first episode comes out this weekend, okay, on Sunday. Y'all ready for it? It's a supersized episode. And all I can say about it is expect some changes, okay? Expect some changes in dynamics, okay? What else can I say? Expect some changes in dynamics. Expect for we'll get into it a little bit later. But before we get into that, let's talk about something that was brought up by Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think we talked about it on this channel about how Candiace had tweeted something to the effect about how, you know, she's treated a little differently. And I'm paraphrasing here. Okay? I am paraphrasing. But she said something to the effect that, you know, she's treated differently than Ashley, or Ashley gets, you know, treated less severely because Ashley is light-skinned. Okay? And so the Green Eye Bandits had something to say about it. Okay? They had something to say about it. Okay? So if you head on over to the Jasmine brand and let's click a like on this real quick because we want to show support and love to our sources. They got an exclusive from Gizelle Bryant and Robin Dixon when they interviewed them together. Now, I don't know if you guys had noticed, but Gizelle and Robin been doing a lot of press together. And I know it's because they got that podcast or whatnot. But it's interesting that they're doing so much press together in the run-up to the show. But I guess you get your bang for your buck because you get a 2-for-1 special. You know what I'm saying? You get 2 stars from the show in one interview. So I guess it works out, technically. But anyway, they had some things to say about what Candiace said, suggesting that Ashley Darby doesn't get as much hate from the fans because she's light-skinned. So, according to both Gizelle and Robin, specifically Gizelle says that is stupid. Okay, these are her words, not mine. Okay, she says that is stupid because she says it is the two of them that get the most hate online. It is she herself and Robin who, in fact, get the most hate online on the show. Now, here's the thing. I do agree that they probably do get a very large heaping helping of, people calling them out for different things. I also think that Candace probably gets a heaping helping of people calling her out for different things. But I feel like they get called out for different reasons. And I'm going to get into Ashley in a second. I feel like a lot of people in the past had called out Candace for things that she had done online, which was different because it was off of the show. I feel like Ashley, I definitely feel like people called her out for all her messy antics during the first couple of seasons on the show. And I feel like the only reason people have lightened up on Ashley in any way, shape, or form is because Ashley was with child. So I feel like that always softens people up. And I feel like I think as a person, you have no choice but to grow in that regard. So it's been nice to see. But even her tagline for this season, I mean, she references how messy she is by saying the only thing messier than two boys is me. So she knows it, right? So keeping the mess within the realm of the show is one thing. Taking the mess outside of the show and onto social media is another thing. Now, Ashley is guilty of that too, because when she and Candace were going at it, they went at it together, back and forth. I will say that. And I will say that Candace also has gotten her fair share of people calling her out as of last year as well, because the audience was definitely split down the middle in the Monique versus Candace situation. So, having said that, my question to you, the audience, is, do you agree with Gizelle and Robin that they get more hate than Candace, and that they disagree with what Candace said? Now, Gizelle and Robin also in their statement stated that Candace gets a lot of vitriol from fans because of the things that she says online as well. So they agreed with my assessment about why Candace gets a lot of it online. But I will say this. I also have to say that if a cast member, to me, in my opinion now, just being where I am now, I think that if a person says, hey, there's an issue happening, we do have to give that person the respect enough to listen to what they're saying, analyze it critically, and then form my own opinions based on it. So I'm not totally disregarding what she's saying because that's how she feels. And I'm willing to also accept that maybe it's something that I'm overlooking as well. Okay. And yes, I mean, Tissue make a good point. Is it hate if they're getting called out on their behavior? And I feel you on that, because I feel like the audience, if we see shenanigans happening on the screen, then we, the audience, are going to call it out, especially if we see unreal shenanigans, things that don't make sense, storylines that don't make sense, or when we can clearly see a character doing something foul on the screen. We, the audience, are invested, so we are going to call it out. That's that. It is what it is. And so when Gizelle and Robin say that they get the most hate from the people, it is not hate that you're receiving. It is sometimes the audience giving you feedback on the things that you're doing on the show. Okay. And you can't always say, oh, people hating on me, when in fact, sometimes they're just calling out what they see. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that a lot of people need to chill with regards to, oh, I'm getting so much hate, because sometimes if you do foul things and we see it, okay, then the audience is going to call you out on it. That's it. That's what it is. I will say that for her part, Gizelle tends to handle it better than any of her other castmates, because I think that Gizelle realizes that it's a game. You know what I'm saying? It's social media. It is people are going to react to the show. People are going to have their opinions and things to say, but she seems to still be able to live in her own world, and she seems to keep it pushing. And I gotta admire that, because if you can simply say, you know what, I'm still fly, I'm still this, that, and the third. I don't care if they dragging me about how I dress or what. And she seems unbothered by it. That's probably the healthiest approach versus someone like, I know Robin is a bit more sensitive on social media. I think that Candiace, I would say, maybe used to be a lot more sensitive on social media in terms of her reactions. I think that it seems as though in the past several months, there may have been some growth there. And I'll be interested to see what you guys think after you see the premiere of this season, whether or not you see any growth there in Candiace. I don't know how much growth I feel like you guys are going to see from Gizelle, but I'm very interested after you guys see the premiere of the new season, what you're going to think about Candiace moving forward. So just keep that in mind. I myself am trying to go into this season with a fresh slate, as fresh as I can. Now, it's impossible to forget things that we have seen, but I think that it's also possible to go in and hope for the best and try to look at this from a fresh lens so that we can enjoy the show for the entertainment that it does provide us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to look at it that way. And from that perspective, I think that people are going to be excited after they see this first episode. That's what I think. Okay. Antonio says, I'm keeping all biases. Okay. I ain't mad at you, Antonio, because that's the reality of life. Okay. People, we are human, and we are going to be biased based on our own life experiences and things we've encountered. So we're going to identify with some people more than others. This is why you will have people who have their favorites and whatnot. That is human. I respect it, and I thoroughly enjoy it because I feel like that's living in truth, right? Okay. Living Life with Lily says, Candiace is giving me OG vibes. As women of color, we have to be very careful when using the colorism card, as these are very public platforms. Yes. And I think that's another thing too, is that we have to, hey, happy birthday. I think that we have to be very careful. And thank you for that super chat, Living Life with Lily. I think that's so important. We have to be really careful when we talk about these types of topics, because it's such a serious topic, and we never want to make light of it or use it in a casual way to, describe something that it's not. But because when it is that, we have to talk about it and have the uncomfortable conversation, and we'll do that. But I just feel like, just as a word of caution to people in general, I think what you said hits the nail on the head. Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, we're going to switch topics real quick because we got to talk about this. Baby, let me tell you. Oh, that's what you meant. You meant OG from Basketball Wives. Okay, my bad. I was like, maybe she meant OG from an OG housewife. My bad. Baby, let me tell you, this love and marriage Huntsville situation, boy, this trailer right here. Mavis basically stated it best. This trailer is everything. Okay, everything. All right, let me tell you something. let's get into this. All right. Trailer was lit. Trailer was super lit. Trailer gets 10 out of 10s from me. Okay. Because it gave me unexpected. It gave me new couple vibes. Okay. CCF freak. Don't worry, because we about to break it down to you to increase your level of excitement for when you actually do. Okay. To be black native. Happy early birthday, boo. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something right now. This trailer gives everything that I needed and more, okay? Everything I needed and more. And Vaughn, if you haven't watched this show, let us give you an introduction, okay, to some heat that has been needed on the screens, okay? Now, it's only been a couple of months since season 2 ended, and we ain't get a reunion, but what we did get is a new season, okay? A new season, all right? Now, let's get into it. We start off the trailer, okay, with Melody and Martell getting into it as per the usual, okay? As per the usual. Now, the picture that I'm about to show you guys is a picture of a scene at the end of the trailer. This is not the scene that I'm referring to because there's a montage of scenes wherein they get into it, right? But they get into it based on the fact that, you know, Melody is telling Martell, listen, basically, what she says is this, and I wrote it down. She tells him, you don't get to stop working because you now have 5 children, okay? But Martell don't want to talk about it. He's like, don't talk about it. I'm serious, okay? But he later admits that he always had a goal of having 5 children, okay? Martell is very adamant about not talking about these 5 kids. He only wants to talk about the kids that he has with Melody on this show, okay? And apparently, in my mind, I feel like, was that some type of agreement that they made, okay, ahead of time? Was that it? What was the case? What's the real deal with that situation? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It was it's some weird stuff going on there. Even when Marceau brings up the fact that Martell now has 5 kids, and he also asked, well, did you get a paternity test? Okay. But Martell is like, why everybody want to talk about me when everybody else got so much going on? And that they do. Okay. Let's skedaddle on over to Miss Letitia and Marceau. Okay. Now, in the trailer, there is some talk in the trailer about the potential, or some allegations, I should say, about Marceau having a child outside of his marriage. This is brought up in the trailer, okay? And it's also brought up by, I think, the new husband who is down here to the bottom right in a conversation to, it's brought up by somebody else. And then I think it's brought up by this guy right here. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not this is actually true. But when he does talk to Letitia, he basically tells Letitia that if she had a child out of wedlock, he would forgive her. Now, somehow, I don't believe that, okay? Somehow, I don't believe that, all right? Now, I mean, and this is based on his treatment of her, especially in season 1. But I like Marceau. But I feel like he's kind of chauvinistic, okay? A whole lot of chauvinistic, all right? Now, Letitia says if it were true that he had a child out of wedlock, she would divorce him and take everything he has. Okay. Then there was this. Now, this was pointed out to me yesterday. Now, I do not watch. I've watched Ready to Love, but I haven't been glued to it. So I gotta really go back and do my research. But my girl Diamond Princess 28 tagged me and the Shade Room because this was posted on the Shade Room and said, why is Marceau out with Kira from Ready to Love? Now, it's unclear if in the trailer he's out with her or if he just linked up with, if they just ran into each other at an event. But Letitia basically has to come to him and say, yeah, I had to roll up on y'all or something like that. This is very interesting, very interesting. And I see a lot of you guys recognize it as being Kira from Ready to Love as well. So we'll have to see how this whole situation plays out and why this is coming to be. But it's very, very interesting. Let's move on because we got to get to, this showdown right here. Okay. This showdown right here is about to get crazy. Okay. It's about to get crazy. So here we have Melody, Destiny, and I think her name is Tiffany. Okay. So Tiffany is new to the show, her and her bae. Okay. And Melody introduces her. Now, when Melody introduces her at the group lunch, we see straight up Tiffany is like, hey, I know you, or something like that. And I feel like Destiny was kind of like, oh, we don't know each other. And so then Tiffany goes into this story about how when she met LeBaric, is it LeBaric? That's whatever Destiny's husband name is, that's never there. Okay. When she initially met LeBaric, she met LeBaric basically with some other chick on his arm who she thought was Destiny. And so when she ran into Destiny again, when she ran into Destiny with LeBaric, she asked her about the last time she saw her, and she basically said she didn't know who that was. So the situation sounds like she saw LeBaric with another woman, thought it was Destiny, and then the next time she saw Destiny, she brought it up. But Destiny's basically saying in the trailer, I never met you before. So we get this whole interaction between the two of them, and it ain't looking too pretty. Destiny ain't looking too thrilled because Destiny is close friends with Melody, and she feels like Melody brought this girl around to be messy. Okay? So that leads to this moment right here. Melody versus Destiny. Okay? And let me tell you something. I love me a good old-fashioned sit down. I love a good old-fashioned sit down, and they get all the way into it right here up on this couch, okay? Now, Destiny is getting heated. She's raising her voice, and Melody is telling her not to raise her voice. And Destiny's like, this is a side of me that you don't know, okay? And Melody says, well, I also have a side of me that you don't know, okay? So then Destiny gets to getting louder and louder, and it looks like things about to pop off, okay? And Destiny even told Letitia how the whole situation was messy, okay? Those couches do look comfy. Mm-hmm. If you don't Trust Love, if you don't go look at this trailer, you better, okay? Anyway. So yeah, that's going on. That's going down. Let's talk about the other beef that's building up and a brewing too. Okay, so Wanda and Kimmy gets into it again. This time, I think it's about something that was posted on social media, and Wanda is basically telling her trying to tell her what she saw, and Kimmy's like, "Well, show it to me, bring the receipts or whatever." It looks like in this scenario, Kimmy is not having it. Okay, Kimmy is banging on the table as she's speaking to Wanda. And let me tell you something. That's going to lead to a moment between Kimmy and Letitia where it looks like Kimmy is about to roll up on Letitia up in her face. Okay. So that's about to go down too. Y'all ever notice it seems like all of Kimmy and Letitia's problems center around Miss Wanda? I love Miss Wanda, but I just feel like Kimmy and Letitia's issues are always as a result of the dealings and the goings on with Miss Wanda. Okay. Right, JD. She is funny, but she be getting on my nerves, though. She be getting on my nerves. Threesomes. Threesome alert. Threesome alert. Okay, let's get into it. Kimmy lets it be known something about that she is maybe open to a threesome or maybe has had one allegedly. I don't know. She kind of indicates that if they wanted to know more, if the ladies wanted to know more about whether or not she would be into a threesome, she tells them to ask Maurice and he would be able to give them a name. Okay. I thought I was like, oh, okay. All right now. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But we also get the girl Tiffany. She right here brings up to Kimmy that Monster had been caught vaping in the bathroom. Now, I don't know how she got so much information. How does Tiffany know everything about everybody? That's what I want to know. But I will say that she is bringing it in this trailer in the little bit that she's in. So we got that happening. Okay. Kimmy's son is also kind of, dealing with his struggles with, being the general manager of Black. Whew. Hold on. We ain't done yet. Okay. We ain't done yet. So then we get to this. Now, it looks like they are on some kind of ride or something. I can't really tell what it is that they're sitting in right here. But what I will say is that Martell and Melody have another one of their infamous blow-ups in this scene right here. This takes up a bit more of the time than their earlier interactions. But basically, she's telling Martell about her song, and he's basically like, that BS song, you got the kids singing to this song, you had planned this all along, yada, yada, yada. It was a lot. They was going back and forth, yelling and screaming at each other. Earlier, he was also talking about how, she never built no houses. So I guess she's trying to, continue her builder side of her business. I'm not necessarily sure, but he's not really into that. Yes, it's the 17th at 9 p.m. on OWN. Okay. July 17th, 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central on OWN. All right. Now, he is definitely in his feelings about this whole situation with Melody gaining her independence and, doing her own thing and putting out music that's basically about their relationship. He don't really like that. He thinks it's foul, yada, yada, yada. And my thought about it is this. Okay, right. You and your feelings. I mean, but you shouldn't have done the things that you did. And then she wouldn't have no songs to write about. Okay. She'd be writing about a happy marriage instead of what you did. Okay. Allegedly. Now, let me tell you something. All I know is that this trailer right here gave me more than I ever expected. I already knew it was going to be good, but I ain't know it was going to take the twists and turns that it took. So I am very interested in seeing what happens this season, and we'll find out whether or not we'll get a reunion. Okay. We'll find out those questions, I'm sure, soon enough, because we definitely deserve a reunion for this new season. Okay. Exactly. Martell gave Melody the content. Come on now. Come on. So that's that. Okay. Right. So there we have it with the with Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's going down. I can tell you that I will not do a review of the first episode on Sunday, July 18th, because I'll be flying back from my trip. So you'll get it during the week. So hopefully y'all will be able to wait for it with me, at least, you know, afterwards, and we can go over it together. You know, these are the stories. That's what Giselle and Robin had to say about what Candiace had to say. I, of course, feel like, you know, again, when we hear someone in our community say that they feel a certain type of way, specifically as it relates to any issue of color, we take a second, we listen, analyze critically, and then make our own decisions based on what we feel and hear. Okay. But we always want to make sure that we support our sisters and our brothers who, you know, when they come forward with this type of stuff, we got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it should not ever be so easily dismissed. But again, we look at it and we analyze it critically. And then with Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all, we ready. We are so ready. We are so ready. Carlos King, you have done it again. We are excited about this new season. Y'all, listen. It's Friday. I want y'all to go out this weekend. I want y'all to have a ball this weekend. Enjoy yourselves this weekend. I want you to reconnect with some old friends this weekend. I want you to have a little, if you drink, have a little drinky drink this weekend. Go out and see some people this weekend, you know, as best you can. You know what I'm saying? And as safely as you can. With that being said, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Okay. Make sure that you guys also do this. And I tell this to y'all all the time. If nobody's told you today, I love you. And if you can tell somebody else that today, you could spread a little bit more love and make somebody else feel good too. So otherwise, y'all have a good Friday. Y'all know I love y'all. And I will catch you in the next video.